Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta.
And thank you so much for joining us. It's been a minute. We missed you. We hope you had a wonderful holiday season. And we're hoping that you're very excited about the up and coming 2024.
Yes, we are. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Did you write your resolutions?
Well, I don't do resolutions anymore.
I heard that. They say they only last like a day.
Yeah, or it's to me, I think resolutions are, because when I was younger, maybe I do resolutions because it seemed like it's the norm. When you're younger, everybody does resolutions.
Right.
But as we get older, there's no point, because there's things that we know we need to work on, right? We don't need to make it a resolution.
We don't need to make a list. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we don't need to make a list or have a resolution, because it just seems like a lot of times nobody keeps that resolution anyway.
That's what they say. Within a week, they're done.
They're done, especially the people that say they're going to lose weight,
go to the
gym after 1 week, they're done.
Yeah.
But what I do like is maybe having a word for the year.
Oh, now that's wonderful.
Have you, I know a lot of people have done that. In the past, I've gone around and people said, I don't do resolutions, but I do have a word for my year 2024.
Okay.
So in the past I did, and I think I'll keep this one, is inspire to motivate. Even though it's not a word, it's a little phrase. Inspire to motivate. That's what 2024 is.
Okay. And I guess since you just sprung this on me, for me, it would be Grand Rising.
Oh.
Because I remember a friend once told me that they didn't like how Americans said good morning.
Oh.
Because good is something good, but morning is, loss. So good loss.
Oh yeah, morning meaning, but that's a different
Absolutely,
spelling.
but it's the words that you put into the universe.
Oh, good
morning. Good
morning.
Guess, so I never thought about that.
I don't know. I never thought about that. But morning to me just means in the morning, not afternoon or evening.
But a lot of people think of, when you hear morning, they're like, so good loss. So for me, 2024, which is going to be difficult because there are people who are going to expect me to say that word, I'm going to say Grand Rising. How's your day going?
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Okay.
Grand Rising.
All right.
Grateful to be awake and alive.
Yes, and we've made it to 2024.
Yes.
And we want to remind you that if you're new to our channel, welcome. And if you're a returning supporter, we want to say thank you so much for supporting us all these years.
Yes.
And don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, and after every video you can hit that thumb icon, which shows that you've watched the video and you like our chat.
Yes.
So there you go. Oh, and you can also hit that bell notification.
That's right.
So you don't miss any of our chats.
Yes.
There you go. And Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. So it's so important that we talk about the tea that we're going to be chit-chatting over.
Yes.
So what tea are we drinking today?
Okay, so today we're doing, Organic India. It's a brand that we love. Love this brand because the essence just pour out of the tea bags. The one we're doing today is the Tulsi Lemon Ginger. Both of those just sound really good.
Yeah, we've had it before, and we just thought, because it's a nice, brisk, kind of like cold day, lemon ginger just seemed a bit... It seemed like kind of warming and very, will keep us warm.
The ingredients are organic ginger, organic Tulsi, which is the holy basil blend, and then the East Indian basil. Those two make the organic Tulsi blend, and organic lemongrass leaves. Very simple. We love simple.
And we love it. And we do drink a lot of this brand, Organic India.
Yes, we do.
So we had it seeping. I love it. Let's wake it up a bit.
Yes.
And give it a shot.
Cheers.
Oh, I was so enthusiastic. Never cheered.
That's right. Cheers to you also.
Cheers, everyone. Oh, it's so I love it. It's so cozy. And
this is the kind of tea where you crawl up on a sofa or a lounge
with your blanket. Yes, with your blanket and the fire on.
Yes.
My goodness, I could just imagine myself next to the fire with my blanket, just cuddled up.
I know, it's all good and all wonderful. So let's just get our party started. So, as always, we start our chat by sending our thoughts and prayers out to the universe. There's so much going on in the world, so much chaos, so much, moments where you're just like, I cannot believe I just saw that. I cannot believe I just read that. So our prayer is that the world will cycle into consciousness and we will all take a woosah moment and just know and be grounded in the present moment at all times. That's what we want.
Thank you.
So first, like we said, Happy New Year. So now 2024 is a very important year because in numerology, it is an 8. So you go, what is an 8? Of all the numbers in numerology, the number 8 is the achiever and the measures life by the goals it reaches. It has good business sense, a powerful presence, and a strong drive for success. The 8 is also a symbol of balance. You can see it in the symmetrical shape. It's like infinity.
Right.
That's one thing. For every blessing, it puts one back out. For every blessing received, 8s put the blessing back out into the universe. When things are balanced, they feel stable, controlled, and supported, which is the most productive environment for an 8 to work in. So if you are around an 8, like this is our year of the 8th, it's going to be about balance.
And 8, did you people out there watching, did you know that in the Chinese, when we say 8 in Chinese, it means fa, which means good luck.
Amen to that.
So that's why a lot of people like the number 8.
Yes.
Because it means prosperity to all. Like when we say Chinese New Year, we say
Right.
Gong Hei Fat Choi. So Fat means 8.
All right.
So it means prosperity. So I
Yes.
like that you
Yes.
mentioned 2024
is an 8.
Yes, and this year Chinese New Year falls on February the 10th, and
Right.
it's the year of the dragon.
Yes. My my daughter-in-law, the baby's was due December 30th.
Oh, right, what happened? It never
The
came?
baby's still inside.
Oh, my goodness.
My son and my daughter-in-law are both dragons. So they were like, wouldn't it be cool if the baby would be a
so
dragon?
it will be a dragon.
Will it be?
Well, if it's,
well, it has to stay there till February. It'll be out
maybe
before
not,
then.
Maybe
yeah.
not. Oh, no,
Yes,
that's too bad.
But it's really cool to know that this new essence of dragon is going to be upon us. This should be an amazing year for everybody. So hold on tight. Let's get ready to rock and roll in 2024.
Love it.
So let's talk about the Golden Bachelor's wedding. So what you think?
Did you all
Comment
watch
below.
it?
Yes.
Bachelor Nation, did you watch the Golden Bachelor wedding of the year?
Yes. I tell you, one of the first things that I really loved a lot, and it wasn't Jesse. Jesse's wife is having a baby. He should not have even showed up. I mean, somebody else could have filled in for one night. The Golden Women, they were so loving and supportive of Teresa and Gary and the whole wedding and the whole process. If that had been the young ones, they would have been all snippy and snidey.
Yeah, but I did think it was kind of weird to have, there was 2 people that hosted it, and it was Charity Lawson and what was the Kathy?
Yes.
I just thought Kathy was too much.
Well, it was almost like she was drinking and she
Right, but the whole time she kept saying, well, I brought my date and my date is nobody.
I don't have a date.
And she kept talking about how she doesn't have a date, she needs
Right.
to get a date, about no date. We know you're single, okay?
Right.
You've played that card
Right.
way longer than it needs to be.
And she was the one who was most against Gary and Teresa getting together. And I couldn't figure out why they gave her a microphone. I'm like, take that away from her.
You know who should have done it was Charity Lawson and
Yes.
Joan. Joan
Yes.
should have done it.
Yes, she would have done a much better job.
She would have done a really good job because Kathy was just all over that single card.
Yes.
Enough is enough. But the wedding was amazing. But you know what? I was kind of upset because when they showed her trying on dresses,
Right.
her very first one was gorgeous.
Right.
But she wore this weird number.
Off the shoulders. I mean, she has a great body. Nobody's taking that away from her. I was just surprised at a woman of 70. She wore
And the
the
stringy, what is it? The stringy straps weren't even on her. They kind of half on, half
and I didn't
off.
know if they were supposed to be that way. I was
I think it was the
it?
style that it was meant to be. But I really liked the first one she tried on.
Yeah.
But what I really liked during the ceremony is when they brought the children up to speak.
Yes.
That was the highlight of the whole.
Yes.
That
was
ceremony.
Beautiful.
That was really
the daughters and the granddaughter.
And I cried on that.
Yeah, that was really sad, and I felt. Well, let's finish this and then let's talk about the wedding first. So I don't know how anyone could watch those two exchange their vows and not be touched. I mean, for them both to feel that they would never have another relationship like this. And for Teresa to be with him, he is the first man after her husband.
Billy.
And, Gary had, of course, he's been having dates and everything. So he was more out there than she was. But her, like she would just look in his eyes. And when he saw her, the first time he saw her, he was speechless. That was really, really beautiful. And Susan, I think she did a great job facilitating, because at first I thought, I don't know, Susan, but then she rounded herself in and she made it about the two of them. She took them through the process. And, when she said, by the state of California, I now pronounce you husband and wife, you may kiss your bride. I mean, that part, came back around because, with Susan, and Susan did her hair. Susan was all into this because when they were single in the house together, she did the ladies' hair.
Yes, she did. She was there. She was very supportive of Teresa from day one. And I thought this joke was a bit weird that she made. I knew the day that I knew I was going to marry you. That's what she said.
Right.
I thought that was kind of a...
Well, her point was she thought she was going to marry Gary.
Right.
However, she's still marrying Gary to Teresa.
Right. I thought that was kind of,
But that was like a,
And did not like Teresa keep talking about how Kathy said, zip it.
Oh,
you don't need to bring that up again. This is your wedding.
Yes, your day.
That should have been kept out. I thought that was a bit tasteless to say that.
That to me I felt like was kind of production. I also think that they kept putting the camera on Leslie because she was upset.
I didn't understand why.
Because she was upset.
But what were they thinking is going to happen?
Yeah, what's she going to do? I protest. When they get to the part, which they didn't do, but in some ceremonies they say if there's anyone that can, that can speak as to why this couple should not be jointly wedded,
married.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. But they didn't do that. But they would show her face, and I think sometimes, like somebody might say to her, "Camera's on you," kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. So did you think that Brandon
and Christina,
him proposing to her was the right thing to do at that wedding?
No. I understood that they asked Gary and Teresa and they said it's fine because they're in the moment. They're all happy, love. I just think, Brandon, because of the fact that first you were on The Bachelorette, then you went to Bachelor in Paradise, you keep screwing things up, and now all of a sudden, what is it, 2 months, maybe a month, 2 months?
2 months,
You met somebody who went into your DM and now you're in love and she's the one. And if she's the one, we're very happy for you, but make it about you on your date. Don't try and steal the thunder.
Right, that's what I think. I think that they should have done it on another, more intimate setting, just them two, instead of having it on live TV.
Yes, I agree. So it's done. What's his face was there? The new Bachelor.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't even know his name. He's not bad looking.
No, he's good looking, but I just don't. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I think we might take a cycle off and just stay in the woo-saw of the golden, because the golden women, young girls, this is how you do it. You don't attack each other and hate each other. If it's you, it's you. If it's not you, wouldn't you prefer to know up front and move on? So I think the Bachelor land is doing well, and they look very happy, and they're off on their way to Italy.
And then we'll probably wait for the next Golden Bachelorette.
Yeah, Susan, whoever they're going to select.
Joan.
There you go. Leslie. Because that was another thing. So they asked Leslie. I can't remember who asked her. They said, you told Gary you would never move from where you buried your horse in the back.
Right, yes.
And then she goes, for the right man, I will move anywhere. I thought, oh my God, why didn't you say that to Gary?
Yeah, she didn't say that.
So
how would he have known?
He wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Okay. So in 2023, there have been laws passed in, I think it's 14 states.
21 states.
Oh, it's up. Yeah, it's
21 states.
21 states that have made abortions illegal. And not just the individual having the abortion, but the transportation to and from the clinic, the doctors, the nurses, anyone involved in the process can be prosecuted. So Diane, Sawyer, and Rachel Scott did a program called On the Brink. I was speechless. When you are blessed with the opportunity to have a child, and if for any reason your doctor says this is not viable, that should be the end of the conversation.
Right.
And for us to go to the point where it wasn't just doctor, patient. Everybody's got an opinion. And most of these opinions happen to be Caucasian men. And most of these men who've never had a baby are making all these judgmental calls. I believe that before you can judge a woman's body, they should all be hooked up to electric probes to their genital areas so that they can see what that feels like. Women are not just doing somersaults and jumping jacks because they're having a baby. It is a lifetime commitment. And for legalities to get in the middle of that, I was just horrified.
Yeah, there was so many stories. They had
Yes.
a panel of women show up and they were talking about their stories.
Yes.
And the thing that they all had in common was that because they all lived in states that had banned abortion, a lot of them either had to flee their state to another state, or they had to carry the baby to what we call an unfortunate term,
Right.
because they knew that the baby wasn't going to survive anyway. Right. And to put them through that ordeal is just, I can't understand. And then they say that anybody that actually, like Gloria said, performs the abortion,
Right.
or transports the child, the woman to the clinic,
Right.
will all be prosecuted.
Yeah.
So it's just really horrific how women have to suffer.
Yeah.
And because I really cannot imagine going through that situation, knowing that my child will not survive.
Yeah, it's already not viable. And I can't remember the particular lady, but she was talking about how her baby had died and it was starting to make her sick, and she still could not get.
She still could not.
She still could not get an abortion.
Right. And there were some women that actually they decided to move out of the state that they were living in.
Right.
There is this one OBGYN who is from Idaho, and she said that she moved out of that state because it was one of the states that had the ban. But she said in that state there are no OBGYNs left. Wow. Because they can't do what they need to do in order to help protect the mother.
Right.
And it says, get this is what I don't understand. This little phrase, the ability to save life would have stopped the ability to produce life. So just let that think in. You're trying to save a life.
Right.
But then you could stop the ability for the woman to be able to produce life in future.
Right.
So how does that make sense?
So there was a young girl. She was told that not only was her child not viable, she was at risk if she didn't have the abortion. This woman had to testify to the fact that I want my baby. I felt my baby growing, thriving inside of me. For someone to then make her feel as if it was wrong of her to want to terminate the pregnancy.
Right.
However, the doctors told her if she did not, she might not be able to have future children.
Right.
So the one in the womb is dying. If you don't extract it, then you can have no more. I don't understand how anyone can hear that and think that it's just a whimsical process.
Yeah, they say that there was talk about them saying that this was just an excuse instead of an abortion pill.
Right.
This was just an excuse to have an abortion. It wasn't really because they needed it. It was their way of dealing with it. We're going to have the baby, something's going to happen, and we'll just have an abortion.
Right.
So there was one doctor that really stood out to me, and her name was Dr. Scopes.
Yes.
And for the attorney for four women, they actually sued the state of Texas.
Yes, because that's the worst one so far.
Right. And Dr. Scope, this is what she said. Cannot believe it. The attorney for the four women says, why not leave the decision to each patient and their family to make according to their own circumstances? That's what we want, right?
Yes.
To have each woman make their own decision.
Yes.
Then Dr. Scope answers, I wonder if the patients will offer the intervention of prenatal palliative care rather than knee-jerk response that says that an immediate induced abortion is appropriate. So the appropriate intervention for every woman in this heartbreaking situation. So the attorney says, do you think this is a knee-jerking response the families would make? And Dr. Scope says, well, I'm not sure. I, again, don't think that this has been discussed in this trial, but it is another option.
Right.
And she wants palliative care. So she doesn't want them to have the abortion. She wants them to be kind of like ease the pain.
Right. And let it stay inside until it comes out by itself.
Yes. And she said that the reason why she wants that is so that they will have a baby to hold and to grieve. They will have something at the end of it to grieve with. I mean, I just can't wrap my head around a woman.
Thank you.
A woman.
Not only thinking that, but saying it out loud. How, and I don't know a whole lot about her as a person. I just think that at that point, you know, sometimes when you're watching a show, you have to hit pause for a minute and you think to yourself, was that really a woman? Did that woman just say that we want to give them something to hold?
To ease the pain while they're going through this whole pregnancy, even though the child is going to come out stillborn.
Yes.
Just to have something to hold.
Yeah, and I don't think most women, well, the other thing, I also believe that if a woman's child is in duress, that hurts her heart. Even though the baby is not out yet, you still feel compassion for that child. And I would think any woman that's giving birth to a child would want to lessen the pain on the child as well. And if it's not viable, if it's deceased, it should be removed. I don't think it should just be left for whatever reason.
Yeah, and then they did show the women that came in outside. They showed the husbands of the women. And some of the husbands said, I was also against abortion. I wanted the ban. I was for the ban. But until me and my wife went through this situation, then I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
So really, men, you're just trying to make rules on behalf of the women without even ever having to deal with this situation. But once you put yourself, I'm so glad that these men actually, who were for the ban, actually changed their mind since all this happened. This tragic incident happened with them and their wife. It's pretty crazy.
It's very horrific. And the one thing, you know, that we both feel is try and talk to other women, and women vote. If this process is to be corrected, we have to vote. There is a possibility that if certain circumstances occur, that Roe v. Wade that was overturned will be corrected, because I believe in my heart this is a decision between a woman and her doctor and her family.
Yes.
And politics should have nothing to do with it. And when you hear, you know, people talk about oh, I don't think there would ever be a situation where a woman should terminate a life. Then you should go to places where children are just had willy-nilly. They know they're not viable, and they make the women have them. And that is also very expensive, putting a child into the process of they're just like a little vegetable. They're not really there.
Well, a lot of these women who come from low income housing
Mm-hmm.
say that they can't leave the state because they
Right.
don't have the financial means
Right.
to do that. There was one lady that lived in a mobile home,
Right.
and she couldn't do it because of she didn't have the financial means to do it.
Right.
So she had to carry her baby
Right.
and there was one other lady that just had the abortion, wasn't it? Like just a couple of weeks ago
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So it was very new,
And
very
fresh.
raw and fresh.
Yes.
And for her to come and talk to Diane, Sawyer, and the other lady was
Yes.
so. So if you haven't seen this, if you have Hulu, you can actually go and do a search
Right.
for On the Brink, and you can watch it, because we just listening to the women speak the words out of their mouth,
Right.
you can feel their heartache, they're
Yeah.
crying, they're sobbing.
Yes.
I mean, what we said is
Yeah.
barely like
Touches the surface.
yeah. Just watch it, please.
Yeah.
Everybody go to Hulu. You can watch it
Yeah.
and check out On the Brink, because
Yes.
it will change your mind, and
It really will.
it really touched us a lot that we
Yeah.
had to bring it to the forefront.
Yeah, we want you all to be aware, primarily women and young, women of birthing ages.
Right,
However, all women should be aware of this, because the senior women, we have to protect the young women. So we have to collaborate together and vote together to stop this, because this is horrific.
And there was one other statement I forgot, and I want to read it. It says, birth control, they say birth control is just for people that don't want to close their legs. So they thought that the abortion was a birth control for people that didn't want to close their
Yeah.
legs.
I mean, talk about backward thinking. Dear God. This is really old belief. And we have got to open people's eyes and change it.
Yeah.
It is horrific.
Exactly.
So we also had, since the last time we were together, we saw the Golden Globes. Did you watch? This was the first time that the Golden Globes had been on since all the controversy about the past, because, no people of color were really winning any of the awards. And it was also after the recent strike.
Right.
So for me, the first award of the night was for Best Supporting Female Actor. I love how they call them female actors.
Yeah, they've
instead
been
of
doing
actress.
that for the past several years.
Yes, I'm like, I'm a woman, I'm an actress, but okay, female actor was Divine Joy Randolph. And I was just like, oh my God, she's black. She's the first woman out. My sister, she texts me and she goes, what is she wearing? She needs some straps to keep that dress up.
Yeah, it was, I just thought that the
revealing.
dress was not, whoever fitted that dress on her should have known that it was just too revealing. I mean, her boobs walked in before she did.
Absolutely.
And that's not what you want.
No, you want everyone to think like Angela Bassett.
Oh,
Her
she was
dress
gorgeous.
was elegant.
She's
It was
always elegant, top
elegant.
notch.
I know. And shout out to you, Angela, before I forget. You just received an honorary Oscar. Congratulations. However, I know in your heart you want an Oscar, not an honorary. So you got one. However, my wish for you is that you will get a full-born Oscar.
I don't even understand why she hasn't got one.
Well,
What is the holdup, people? Don't understand. What is the holdup?
Well, unfortunately, the high percentage of the people doing the voting are not people of color.
And then who is this? They say thank you to the foreign press secretary. What is it? What is it? They say
foreign
the
press.
The
Yeah.
foreign press. Who makes up the foreign press?
Yes, it's members of that community. But so let me see. Oppenheimer won for best picture drama. Let's see what else. I had never heard of the movie Poor Things.
No, I
with
hadn't
Emma
either.
Stone. Hadn't heard nothing.
No, I hadn't heard of that
And
either.
she won for Best Actress, and she won for the director of the event. Best Female Actor in a TV Series was Ayo Adelby. Now, whenever people win, they go, "Oh, I want to thank, my spouse. I want to thank God. I want to thank the foreign press." And she, I thought, was amazing. She goes, "I want to thank the administrative assistants to my managers who take my calls and take my emails."
Yes.
I mean, and everybody was like, yeah, because it's hard to get sometimes to the people you want. So I thought that was a very beautiful shout out.
That was good. I liked that.
I love that Oprah and Gail were there with the people, at the cast of The
Oprah
Color
looked
Purple.
amazing. That dress was gorgeous.
I know. Me in purple. I was like, wow. And, she looks very good and very healthy. And I know that she's come out and told people, I've been fighting my whole life to lose weight, and I found out working with a doctor that there are things that they can do. I hope it's not Ozempic, but whatever you're doing, it looks good. Just take good care of yourself, because you're the Weight Watcher queen too. So
yeah,
yes.
But what else? I was not a big fan of Joe Coy doing the posting.
Yeah, he kind of like.
He's a good comedian, but
he only had 9 days. Okay, so that's number one. Don't do that to somebody. They usually announce 6 months in advance so you can start working on the material. So he was just pulling things.
But it seemed like he was not comfortable up there.
No, he wasn't.
He was very like, I think he was embarrassed at half the jokes.
Comedians do not apologize for their jokes. They'll tell you whatever. Like if Wanda Sykes said something, she'd be like, "Get over yourself." And he would be, "Oh, too soon? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, my bad." No, he made some comment about Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
and then the Swifties, everybody's like, "Oh, the Swifties, they're going to get you."
So when they did the live, they had that joke.
Right.
So usually what happens is they'll replay again straight afterwards, right? Mm-hmm. My son said they actually took out that joke. In the second one, the rerun. Wow. They took it out because it was just so terrible. Wow. It was taken out, yeah. He was not, I felt sorry for him because he got a lot of backlash because he didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for him, and you could tell that he was uncomfortable up there, very squirming in his pants.
Yes. The best song was What Was I Made For? Written by Billie Eilish and
love that song.
Finest, her brother, and they won that for Barbie. And let's see, there was another movie that I was like, I have heard nothing about this movie. Beef.
Oh, Beef is not a movie.
Oh, it's a
Beef
miniseries?
is a Netflix miniseries.
Well, I have to check it out because every time I turn to it,
I actually didn't want to watch it, and I've been holding off. But now that it's got a lot of like recognition,
right? You're gonna check it out.
My son watched it, but I refused to watch it. No, I don't want to watch. I don't really like Ali Wong.
I was like, but what is it
like
about?
Ali Wong. I don't know. It's about. It's weird. Just go there and look at you can always watch trailers on Netflix. See
before
what it's about.
You do it,
right?
And foreign press. Since everybody was thanking you, I would thank you to make the aisles bigger. That poor girl. She was weaving around in that cute little white dress. She couldn't get to the stage.
Right. And then my son was saying, "Why is it taking her so long to get to the stage?"
Because she was so far back. They didn't they didn't think she could win. So they put her at a back table.
That's what I was thinking. I said, "Why did they put her on the back table?"
Because when you're up high and you have to go down a flight of steps before you start trying to maneuver,
right.
And like a lot of people, they would be like, "Okay, where do I go?" And I thought, okay, I understand that you're cramming a lot of people into that room, but you can like take a chair away from each table.
And it seemed like the room was smaller. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like it was more, and I didn't understand when people came out to announce the next award.
Right.
They were facing
how they would turn around.
Their back was towards the audience. What was that about?
Because they had cameras set up there. Because first time they did that, I thought, okay, is it spinning? Is that why it twirls? But then I watched them. They would walk up and then they would turn. Their back is facing the audience.
I don't understand.
So that the audience was the backdrop while they did the announcements, I guess.
Why can't they just have them facing the camera? What is the issue with that?
It was weird. It was weird.
It was weird.
The other thing for me was, I know that fashion is important. What are you wearing? Joan Rivers made that the coolest thing on the planet.
Oh, yeah, the fashion police.
Yeah, because she would ask people, who are you wearing? And they had no idea. Now everybody knows who they're wearing. And other people know who they're wearing. For me, I think that the Golden Globes, the Oscars, certain events should be more tasteful. When you go to the Grammys, yeah, you see people half naked and you're like, but it's some music, it's okay. There were people, I wrote a few names down. Emily Blunt, Andra Day, Sarah Snook, Karen Gillian, Christina Ricci, Emma Stone, Janelle James, Hannah Waddingham, Kate Beckinsale, that's right. I wrote Beckinsale, but I didn't say Beckinsale. Their dresses were very sheer. Andre had a bodysuit underneath. You could see the bodysuit, you could see the curvature of her body, and then the sheerness. Why? You are an Academy nominated person. These women are brilliant at what they do. You don't have to be half naked.
I think there should be some kind of guidelines as to what they're allowed to wear and what they shouldn't wear, because I think that I always think of Golden Globes and Oscars to be like a top-notch swanky event where they dress elegant.
Yes, and even a little snooty.
Because we know that, like Gloria said, the Grammys, whatever the BET Awards is going to be more risque.
MTV Awards,
right,
stuff like that. BET Awards, the Soul Train Awards. It's more cultural in that they dress as they perform.
That's more appropriate in that kind of setting.
Yes, but
when it comes to the Golden Globes and the Oscars, please, we want to. I want to
look at your beautiful face, and I don't want to be drawn down to, my God, what is she wearing?
Yeah, why can't they just, everybody, let's go back to the good old days where everything was top-notch elegance.
Yes.
That's what I want.
That's what I want too. So it was an interesting show. Did you watch it? Did you have any aha moments? I think a lot of people thought that the Barbie cast was a joke.
Oh.
They were like, oh, what are they doing here? They're not going to win anything. So the next one coming up is the SAG Awards. Now the SAG Awards should be very elegant because that is the step, I guess you would say the next step before the Oscars. So come with your A game, come beautiful, elegant, and come prepared to wow us with your brilliant talent, not what you're wearing. Okay? We're asking. So have you heard the craze about the Stanley Cup? Okay, so when I first saw this, I thought, this is just a stainless steel cup. What's the deal?
It's a cup that holds liquid, hot or cold liquids, with a handle on it. What is the big deal? Everyone fighting over it.
And so, number one, before this, you could go anywhere and buy one of those cups for between $12 to $15. Now they're $45. Now people are buying them, hoarding them, and selling them for $200 to $2,000. So do you understand the crave? Did you get into it? I mean, is this you going, woohoo?
No way. I would not spend that much. There's other tumblers you can get that hold the same liquids. People, you do not need to be waiting with a line around the block or going to Target.
Waiting for the store to open.
Right, and fighting for people, trying to get the Stanley Cup. I think that my son said, because we were asking him, me and my husband were asking him, what do you know what the big deal about these Stanley Cups are? And he said, they just put a handle on it. I guess that's what he said.
Right.
But to me, I don't even find those Stanley Cups nice looking.
Right.
I think that it's such a thin bottom and such a big base. I think it's top heavy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, see, I think they make the thin bottom so it'll fit in the cups of the car.
The cup holders
but then
in the car.
It stands up so high that if you're trying to move the gear shift, your hand's going to be
And it has a straw, so people like the straw.
Yeah.
And people like the handle because you can actually bring it with you wherever you go. But it's just too bulky and big.
It was just
and then
too
I
much.
was seeing other people saying, well, I like my Yeti. I'll stick with my Yeti, or I'll stick with this tumbler, that tumbler.
Yes.
So if you know what the craze is,
comment
below. And if you are part of the craze,
we still want you to comment and let us know because we don't get it.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't understand it.
Yes. So As always, we like to leave you with a little tip of the day. So my name is Gloria Webb Williams. My company is Ancient Stones Nurturing Natural. This is my studio. I'm an all-natural mineral makeup girl right here in Santa Clara, California. My focus has always been on health and healing. Do no harm. That is really, really important to me. And it is going to be a major focus for me in 2024. So my tip, it's cold outside, it's raining. Oh my God, the storms that have been passing through the United States and other parts of the world. I mean, the rains have just been tremendous, and the hurricanes and the tornadoes, they're just wiping through towns and wiping out people. So be careful, be safe, never drive into standing water. And because of the weather issues, like we have here in California, Tahoe, Reno, lots of snow coming down. Moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. Make sure that you moisturize your skin, especially before you go out into cold weather. This is also the time to establish your new regimen for facials. You can do sugar scrubs at home. You can make your own. You take some cold pressed olive oil, mix in some brown sugar, make it into a light, pliable paste. Put it all over your face, your neck, your décolleté, and just let it sit there for a minute and get in the shower and just let it all wash away. That will give you a natural glow, moisture to your skin. And then every day, figure out, what do I have to do to moisturize my skin? Because I always tell you, makeup goes best on clean, moisturized skin.
Yes.
So as we kick off the new year, take care of your skin. Scarves, wear scarves. I don't even play with an umbrella. So make sure, because I've seen them in New York, they're just upside down, flying down the street.
Well, I have an umbrella, and it's one that's windproof, so it will not
see, that's
go
good.
upside down.
Well, see, she's got a good one. But the one I had years and years ago, I just love walking in the rain because I love the feel of raindrops on my face. So water, good quality water is your friend. Gloria Webb Williams, Ancient Stones Nurturing Natural.
Thank you, Gloria. That was great, helpful information and tips that you can leave and do straight away.
Yes.
That's what I like.
Yes.
And I'm Rosetta Chow, your certified health coach. My business is Simply Health, and I talk about your health matters, and I like to talk about disease prevention and healing. And as we go into the beginning of 2024, we know that a lot of people are coming up with New Year's resolutions, as we talked about earlier. So my tip for you going into the new year is, let's break away from these New Year resolutions, and let's not talk about, I want to lose weight, I want to lose 15 to 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how we can start incorporating one new healthy habit at a time.
Yes.
Healthy habits are hard to maintain. Bad habits are hard to break.
Yes.
We cannot do it all at one time. So I say choose one thing and try and be consistent on that one thing. Whatever you want to do, be consistent. Don't try and do too much at one time, because you know it's not going to work. And by, week 2, you're going to be failing in it. So incorporate one new healthy habit and stick to that. And once you can do that for like at least a few months, then incorporate something else, because that's when you know it's going to be long lasting.
Yes.
So that's my tip for 2024. And I say your health matters. Prevention is always better than intervention.
Yes. Thank you, Rosetta. That was wonderful. So thank you very much for joining us on our first chat of 2024. We want you to know that we're grateful that you take the time to listen to us and to communicate with us, because we love two-way communication. So hit those comments below, hit that, just let us know. Let us know that you're with us on this journey, because we feel the love in this room. We're grateful to receive it from you. We send it back to you, bubbling over.
And let's make 2024 a wonderful year.
Yes.
A wonderful year.
A positive year.
Yes. And don't forget, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
Yes.
And hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our chats. And we are Silicon Valley Girls, chat over tea. There's our tea.
Yes, it is.
And remember to always keep smiling. Bye. Take care.
Till next time. Bye.